Olympic gold in hand, Scottie Scheffler says emotional display isn't as rare as we thought. Scheffler's course record 9 under par 62 to overcome a 4-stroke deficit going into Sunday closed out what he called a long and challenging week. SAINT-QUENTIN-EN-YVELNES, France. Scottie Scheffler has won 6 tournaments this year, including his second Masters, extended his streak as golf's most dominant player since Tiger Woods' heyday, and pocketed $28 million for his trouble. But until Sunday, he never cried after winning a tournament that paid only $37,500 and a chunk of gold on a ribbon. Of course, he never tried to sing the national anthem from the top step of an Olympic medal stand either. "Definitely one I'll remember for a long time," he said, an understatement at that. He made it all the way through. Banner yet wave. Before his lip quivered and he covered his eyes, unable to finish. He had no such trouble at Le Golf National in the best round of his finest season, finishing numbers 17 and 18 birdie par for an Olympic record 19 under 265, a stroke better than Great Britain's Tommy Fleetwood, who went bogey par and settled for silver. Hideki Matsuyama will take the bronze back home to Japan. Scheffler's course record 9 under par 62 to overcome a 4-stroke deficit going into Sunday closed out what he called a long and challenging week for one of Dallas' favorite sons. Le Golf National may look like a stroll through a Monet landscape, but the wildflowers here have teeth. Predicting the final 2 holes would decide the tournament, Golf Digest called the last 2 holes diabolical. Certainly proved devilish for Fleetwood. He drove into heavy rough on 17, then whacked his approach past the green to end up with a bogey. Only a few moments earlier, Scheffler had dug his shot out of that same rough to leave himself 18 feet for birdie. As the putt fell, enabling the U.S. second straight Olympic gold, Scheffler pumped his fist, a rare sight of someone normally as demonstrative as a basset hound. The defending champ, Xander Schauffele, was tied for the 54-hole lead until back-to-back bogeys on the back nine Sunday. He finished tied for 9th. Spain's Jon Rahm, in first place on the 11th tee, ended up 5th. For his part, Schauffele was just glad to have Scheffler on his side for a change. "He's been piling up trophies left and right," Schauffele said, "and he keeps moving away from what is the pack of people chasing him in the world. When I take my competitive hat off and put my USA Patriot hat on, I'm very happy that we won another gold medal." Patriotism was pretty much the theme here as fans wrapped themselves in flags literally and figuratively. Chants of nations and names wafted across the pleasant, pastoral setting all week. Owing to national loyalties, no gallery was bigger than the next, save for the home field advantage of France's Victor Perez. He came up just short of the podium but went home with shouts of "B. Qatar" ringing in his ears. The scenery and soundtrack was a departure from, say, Craig Ranch. As he walked down the 12th fairway Sunday, Scheffler heard something that sounded like home and didn't. "Hook 'em, Scotty." Pause. "I'm an Aggie." A discerning ear could tell the difference between a local calling out the world's #1 golfer, Scottie, and a stray American, Scottie. An occasional Scheffler came out, Scheffler. The champ said he enjoyed the crowds, though it's hard to confirm. As previously noted, he's not given to histrionics. But he seems to be having a good time in Paris. Went to women's gymnastics and was blown away. Couldn't believe it when Suni Lee face-planted during warm-ups on the uneven bars. "We were sitting on the other side of the gym," he told reporters last week. "And it was so loud I was like, is she hurt? And 5 minutes later, I'm like, I guess she's going." Flawless. It was awesome. The 28-year-old Texan was also impressed with fellow American Katie Ledecky, who could probably swim back home if her flight cancelled. He called it fairly challenging to compare the fact that she owns the 20 best times ever in the 1,500 meters to his list of accomplishments. "That would be like me shooting the lowest score on tour, 57, like 20 times," he said. "I'm going to have to practice harder." He seems to be doing just fine as is. Crazy year. Besides the Olympic medal and 6 tour wins and unfortunate dust-up at the PGA Championship, he and his wife, Meredith, had a son. Scottie told the media Sunday that Bennett is just now starting to smile. Plenty to be happy about in the Scheffler household these days. He's really not as laconic as he looks. Even called himself fairly emotional. Turns out this isn't even the first time he's cried after a win. Remember the bathroom break he took after winning the Masters? Really, I just wanted to be by myself, he said Sunday. I cried pretty good after that one. Also teared up during the anthem for the medal ceremonies at gymnastics. What can we say? He loves his country. The only way to avoid these outbursts, apparently, is if he stops winning. Fat chance.